All right. Well, we're back. I don't know if anyone's actually going to come in or not. Damn, that is so crappy. What's up, guys? Come back in here if you are. So, unfortunate news. I got hit with copyright. So they took down my stream because of the game behind me. So I tried to get through that and work around that. Clearly, cannot have the game on in the background. So fortunately, game won't be on in the background. Good news is we scored. Bad news is RIP the stream. But it is what it is. We'll bounce back. You live and you learn, right? So can't do that anymore. In the meantime, 49ers scored. So I guess that's good. Sucks when you don't have a kicker. I didn't really get a good look, honestly, on the pass. I was trying to figure out why my stream got taken down. I've been trying to figure out what the heck has been going on my end. So I honestly don't have great analysis of the score or what really happened, as I'm trying to work through. Yeah, maybe the stream's the problem. That's it. So they scored, but might have to start going for 2 on it every single time. Yeah, so that's my bad. Again, I knew I was being sneaky. That's my fault. It's my fault. Won't do that again. So the score is 21-13 right now. If you guys could do me a favor, though, if you could like the post, the new stream, that would be great. It would help kind of get this thing back up. I'm a little hurt that they brought the stream down. We were doing some good numbers there. I'm a little hurt by that, but like I said, I'll overcome. But I would appreciate it if you guys did like this video, help get it kind of re-pumped up again. That would be really, really awesome. Appreciate it, guys. I really do. Definitely want to keep doing these streams. Now I know what to do in the future, for sure. No. Trent Williams is injured?
We've had some storylines in this one, haven't we? My goodness, between Trey Lance coming in, between the divisional showdown, back and forth ball game, on the corner 4 we go out west.
Yikes, dude. Trying to get caught up to speed. All right, so hold on. Okay, so according to Matt Mayoko, Trent Williams has cramps, so he's cramping. It's thankfully a hydration problem, not necessarily like a crazy injury issue. Hopefully we get him back. But yeah, absolutely. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you.
They would take down the audio too. All right, it's a good point. I'll keep the audio low. I'll keep the audio low. Damn it, man. He got carted off the field? Oh, that's not good. It's not good at all. Hold on a sec.
Embarrassing. The word is embarrassing. Pandemonium. Incorrect. Impossible. Moving forward. Qualified. No.
He's a good speller.
Yeah, we need Trent to be okay. I hope it's just cramps. Again, you guys are saying he got carted off. I didn't see him get carted off. I really hope that's not the case. Really hope that's not the case. Let's see. Oh, he did. He did leave the game on a cart. He did get carted off. Uh-oh. 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 That is the worst development of the game so far. That is the worst development of the game so far. So Trent Williams has been carted into the locker room. It's being reported as cramps, but not sure. Not sure if that's truly the case. So we'll see. I mean, you never want to see anyone get carted off. And typically you don't see that. You typically don't see that for cramping injuries. All right, let's go. Let's get this momentum back. Let's get a stop. Let's get a stop by the defense. Big third down. No PI. Oh, why is there a flag? What's the flag? What's the flag? Lined up in the neutral zone. Oh my gosh, D Ford. Come on, bro. How could you line up in the neutral zone on a 3rd and 6 and they stop it? And they stop it and we line up in the neutral zone. Come on, bro. That's bad. That's about how this game is going at this point. It's about how this game is going at this point. It's about how good it's going at this point. I know it's like when things occur, especially injuries, like people want to blame someone for injuries, but at a certain point, like players get injured. This is football. This is a contact sport. You're 100% guaranteed to get injured in football. So I'm not sure why a lot of the thought process is to blame the training staff. Football is 100% guarantee of getting injured. So I'm not going to blame training staff for a player's lifelong body of work that could contribute to any type of one of these injuries. So I really think injuries, they're not a function of training staff. Jeez, dude, another flag. Another flag. They called that a flag? Are you serious? That was awful, man. That was terrible. That's awful. That's not PI. I like the it's not bad coverage, but what? He did go for the veteran move though, and definitely got caught with trying to do a little veteran grab. So just don't grab him. Locate the football. Break up the pass. Again, if you're gonna grab a wide receiver and affect his movement, I honestly can't fault them for calling that. Like you saw it, he grabbed his shoulder and it moved him. That's the definition of a hold, obstruction, all that good. Did they score? I don't know why my stream's so far behind. It's really frustrating. Everyone's out. Everyone's like, all right, let me figure this out. Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They scored. Alex Collins. This game should have been a complete demolishing from the 49ers over the Seattle Seahawks, and they find themselves down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Again, 49ers offense putting a lot on the defense's shoulders. Got to keep the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands. It is what it is, man. This is going to be a tough week. It's going to be a tough week. It's going to be a tough week, guys. Yeah, this is just not a good game, man. Like it's not a good game. Like the 49ers understand at this point. They recognize they've been around long enough that they understand you have to control momentum. You have to control the ball. You have to, again, don't put the ball into these guys' hands that know how to do this stuff, dude. Like, yeah, it's going to be a tough week, guys. It's going to be a tough week. Let's hunker down. Let's get ready to go. It's going to be a tough ass week. I wouldn't even say we're getting our asses kicked. I would say that we're kicking our own. Like at this point, like we're making it just we're making it easy on them at a certain point. Like when you give someone that many opportunities, and again, that's what it is. 49ers gave the Seattle Seahawks way too many opportunities today. Way too many opportunities. But like we talked about, this game was lost in the second quarter, in my opinion. I feel like this game was lost in the second quarter. I felt like that was really a lot of the issues that we were feeling. Debo Samuel returning probably because they feel like Trent Cannon is pressing too much, trying to do too much. It's just the 49ers are going to have to take a long look at themselves in the mirror, man. All right, Trent Williams is back. Thank God. So, all right. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see how he responds. See how the team responds. There's still game left. You don't want to lay down right now. You don't want to lay down and just give it up. You want to be able to try and fight through this as best you can. You got to continue to fight and continue to push through it. And they can still win. Like they can still win. Like it's not out of the range of possibilities if they can score 2 scores and come back in a hurry. But with plays like that, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But it still can technically happen. Man, it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough film study this week. This is going to be a really tough film study this week, man. Yeah, that's not a good start. That's not those possibilities of hopefully winning the game are slowly leaking out the back door. And, nothing really open. Everything looked like a kind of a longer developing route. I'm honestly more defeated that I got hit with the copyright strike and they took my stream down. I think honestly, I'm really upset about that. I'm of course upset about the game, but I'm pretty upset that I got hit with the copyright strike. That sucks. Oh, man. The 49ers should have won this game. The 49ers shouldn't be in this position. Just tough, man. This is very depressing. It's very depressing. And again, like I said, the hope is, we get some kind of spark. We get some type of momentum swing. We get some type of ability to like a quick turnover to a score, a pick six, fumble recovery for a touchdown. Honestly, there's still an opportunity to come back in this game. Like, it's not over. Like, I know it feels over and it's trending towards being over. I understand. I get that. But there's still 10 minutes left. They're down, 2 scores? So there's still an opportunity again, but you need some pretty miraculous things to occur. And based on the energy, based on the vibe, doesn't feel like that's going to happen. It doesn't feel like this team has the fight or the will right now to kind of like push through that. It feels like it's pretty down. I don't know how you guys are feeling based on like your perception of this team and like how they're operating right now. But it does feel like they're pretty down on themselves. I get it. It's a lot of it feels over. I get it. It feels over, but it's technically not over, right? So we'll continue to just hopefully maybe something changes. Like you said, a pick six, we're back in this, boys. A pick six, we're back in this. But we'll see. We'll see, man. There's still a lot of clock. But they can't score. They have to be stopped. They can't convert a first down. Right here, it has to be a stop. They got to stop them. Stop them, quick score. Stop them, quick score. Let's see. All right, 49ers football, guys. 49ers football, quick score. We're back in it. Quick score, we're back in it. Quick score, and we're back in it. Let's go. Let's swing the momentum. Let's swing the vibe. Let's swing the vibe. Let's somehow pull out just a wild ass victory. We do need that Lance Trent Sherfield connection going off right now. We need some kind of connection. We need something. There needs to be some kind of rhythm. There needs to be something, man, because this is a tough ass game right now. Oh my gosh. You know it's bad when you lose your kicker before the game. You know it's bad when you lose the kicker before the game. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 guys. So what's the I want to hear from you guys. You guys are sticking around because you guys are true true faithful, even though this is extremely painful and we all want to go run away and cry and hide in a corner right now, you guys are sticking around. So what do you think? What do you think is the reason why the 49ers are in this position? Why do you think the 49ers are here? Why don't you think when you have the 49ers come out with that really, really solid drive to start the game, drive down and score, really good with the defense in the first quarter? What do you guys think? What's the vibe? Why do you think that this is going this way? So I get a Jimmy, I got a Shanahan, the coach, injuries, missed opportunities, I think is 100%. Again, this is part of when you don't play complementary football. It's really hard to stay in rhythm on both sides of the football. If one side goes off rhythm and you're putting so much emphasis on the other, it's taxing. And you guys don't the guys don't play with the same energy. Again, they get tired faster. When you're chasing guys around like Russell Wilson, all that kind of stuff, it makes it really difficult. Are they gonna call penalty? Jeez. First half struggles to get in rhythm. Lamar said Lamar was nervous before, and he's probably still feeling those nerves now. Was Jimmy G hurt during the INT and just tried to stay in the game? I don't know. Kyle's playbook has got to go. No real deep threat like DK Metcalf. Well, I would say Ayuk is a deep threat. He's just not used that way. He's just not used that way. Defense needs to convert. Our offense needs to convert. Jeez, that was almost an interception. Sheesh. It is not looking pretty. It is not looking pretty right now. That was a pretty good play by the linebacker. I got to give that to Bobby a little bit. Could have been a little bit of better throw, but that was a good play by Wagner. This season should just be dedicated to developing Trey Lance. I mean, at a certain point, that's what it should have been the entire time, but they didn't do that this offseason. I'll never forget how they developed Trey Lance this preseason, this offseason. I'll never forget that. I was at training camp. The fact that you don't give Trey Lance first team reps, he clearly runs a different offense, and you're not having him do that offense in training camp. It makes it really hard. It makes it really hard on anyone to develop. Like, how do you develop in that situation? You're developing with backups. Like, you're developing running an offense that doesn't fit your scheme. So, I don't know. Yeah, you got to go for that. You got to go for that. Trent Williams get injured again? Ah! Come on, guys. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? This doesn't look like a team full of veterans and experienced coaches. This doesn't look like a team full of veterans and experienced coaches. What is he doing? Woo! All right. Well, I'm behind, so give me a second. Give me a second to see what happens. I see Debo did something. What a gutsy call. What a gutsy call. What a gutsy call and throw. What a gutsy call and throw. Wow. What a real gutsy call. But good on Trey, though. Good on Trey. Good on Trey for stopping his momentum, coming back, and making that pass. Good on Trey, dude. That was a good pass by Trey. I like that by Trey. I like everything that Trey just showed. It's a tough spot, man. It's a really tough spot because what do I mean by gutsy? Because it's a 4th and 1. You're executing a naked play action boot with a rookie quarterback, which means you're going to have a defender free into your rookie quarterback's face, meaning when he turns around after turning his back to the defense, he's going to have a defender in his face. So that makes it's a difficult play for any quarterback. And then for Trey Lance to be able to identify that and come back. So it was a gutsy play call. It worked to our benefit. But I'm not seeing a game that's called that like is super aggressive. I don't see tempo. I don't know. See, and becomes the tough situation now when you're a play caller. You have a rookie quarterback in like a no-win situation. Now, how are we going to do this? Are we going to like try to win the game with a rookie quarterback? Are we going to potentially try to put him in tough spots to look? He's not comfortable in the pocket. Like, geez, man, Trey's not comfortable. And that's part of the problem with having, like a rookie quarterback, is that it takes time to find comfort. It takes that time. It takes time. That's part of it. That's part of it, man. Like if you just went back to that play, if you just went back to that play, Trey wasn't very comfortable in the pocket right there. He did not feel comfortable at all from the start. Oh god, this game sucks. This game really sucks. What a crappy game, guys. Yeah. Did Arizona win? Arizona was playing the Rams, right? Did Arizona win? Did they win their game? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they did. Pretty sure they did. I don't know. All right, you guys are probably ahead of me. It's 4th and 2 for me right now. Seeing Debo come in motion. That play hasn't worked all year. That play hasn't worked all year. I don't know why we keep trying it. That play hasn't worked all freaking year. Why do we keep doing it? Yikes, guys. Yikes, guys. It's going to be a hard week, man. It's going to be a tough week. We thought last week was bad. Oh, everyone's getting fired this week. Everyone's getting fired this week. Oh, what do we got, Luke? Luke says, it's just funny that people believe that the defense can't scheme to drive him out and force him to be uncomfortable. I get he's dynamic, but man, yeah, and he's also just inexperienced. He's inexperienced, getting thrown into a situation. Again, it's not like he's been propped up to be the starter. He hasn't been developed as the starter. He's been developed as a backup. So it's a double negative. It's a double negative. I don't think people understand that. Like when you're developed as a backup and then you're thrust in to be the starter, that's not good. You're not getting the starting reps throughout the week. Like Trey Lance, I think there needs to be like a bit of a recognition that he hasn't been propped up to be insanely successful in this situation. Don Burr asks what the score is. The score is 28-13. I don't know if the 49ers coming back, man. Before we thought there could be a little bit of optimism, but they would have had to score quickly and they didn't. And so now it's just a really, really tough situation. It's just a really tough situation. So now I got to find my sad memes because we just post memes when we're upset. And I mean, defense is doing their job. That's really the tough part. Defense is doing a pretty solid job. But it's tough, dude. Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What a game. What a game. Again, the importance, I will not stop talking about the importance of coming out fast and staying and maintaining that ability and that momentum and that energy and how quickly you can lose it when issues and mistakes occur. Tough, bro. Tough. This is a tough one, man. This one's worse. This one, in my opinion, is worse than the Green Bay game. I don't know about you guys, but this one is definitely worse, in my opinion, than the Green Bay game. Because again, like the Green Bay game, yeah, they played like crap, but they fought back. They got in the game. They went up at the end. This just was like a complete like collapse. Absolutely unfortunate. Yeah, this one's tough, guys. This one's tough. Kittle is worthless after he got paid. All right. I understand we're upset, guys. Like, I understand we're upset. I understand that this loss sucks. 2 really bad losses in a row. But again, let's keep it together, guys. Let's keep it together. Kittle is not the problem. Kittle isn't even close to becoming the problem. Kittle is absolutely not even in the conversation of being the problem. So let's calm down, guys. Let's calm down. Let's calm down a little bit. Let's calm down. If we want to blame anyone for this game specifically, blame how this team operated in the second quarter. If we want to blame why this game was lost, this game was lost in the second quarter. We handed them the momentum, we handed them the energy, and we literally handed them the football. So again, we're asking a rookie to come in and win us a game who hasn't prepared to be a starter since he got here. He hasn't prepared to be the starter since he got here. He's been the backup the entire time. So just something to remember. Something to remember. Lance looking nice here, though. Little too late, probably, but looking pretty nice. Oh, they're not excuses. We're pinpointing why we lost. We lost in the second quarter. Offense was never able to come back. We're never able to come back. I think one of the biggest takeaways is obviously we got to figure out what the real situation is with Jimmy Garoppolo. We have to understand if that's going to be a long-term injury, what that is, what that means for Trey Lance's development. Because I think the biggest thing that we need to remember again with a rookie quarterback is development. He's not a finished product. He's not even close to being a finished product. So we have to look forward towards of what that development looks like. How do we get the best out of Trey Lance? How do we ensure he is growing and not receding? Not receding. I don't know. I'm blanking on the word. But this is nice. This is the nice glimpse of Trey Lance. This is the nice glimpse that we're getting out of Trey Lance. Again, when something isn't open, when something isn't regressing. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Oh my God, it's a flag. One of the good things that we're kind of seeing right here, though, is the second play ability. The second play ability, and all that stuff. How are you gonna call that a hold? How many times do they block Nick Bosa like that? How many times do they block Nick Bosa like that? You're gonna call it on McGlinchey? Are you freaking kidding me? My goodness, man. And again, that's part of it. Trey Lance isn't going to be seeing the field super well right now. Like, he hasn't been preparing as the starter. Like, again, their backups will always tell you they prepare like they're the starter, but it is what it is, man. We can't necessarily expect the world out of this kid right now. He got it there. That's just a really hard pass, man. Move the ball. Let's go. Let's go. See, and all we can ask for right now is to watch Trey Lance put something together. Just put something together. Like, that was a great throw. That throw to Sanu, that was a really good throw. So that's all we want to see right now is like how do we take this and how do we start to look at it in regards to next week if he's going to be the one scoring, or I'm sorry, if he's going to be the one under center to start next week against the Cardinals, what that offense could look like. We're starting to see right now, of course, I'm sure Seattle's playing a bit of prevent, so they're kind of keeping everything covered over the top, keeping everything in front of them, so it's allowing a little bit more room. That play was interesting. Trey didn't even wait. He just went. But there's a penalty. Oh, yeah. Gonna be a long week, guys. There we go, Trey. See, look, Trey's settling down. This is what we want to see. We want to see him settle down. We want to see him relax. See how he manages hurry up. See how he manages tempo. So far, I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. So this is okay. It's okay, guys. We can humbly take the L here. We understand why it occurred. We know where we lost touch. We know where things just stopped working. And it comes down to a lot of momentum things. It comes down to order of operations, how one play affects the next one, and what that does for energy and momentum from this team as a whole. But as we wrap this game up right now with Trey Lance potentially getting the opportunity to start next week, let's see how he does. Let's see how he operates. This is his first real shot at getting some experience, and it comes being thrown in to the middle of a game. Dude, IG's going to be a mess. IG's going to be a mess when I get on here. IG's going to be an absolute disaster. I think we had like 700 people on the IG live for halftime. I wonder if it's going to be higher or lower. I wonder if people are going to want to talk about this after the game, or they've already shut it off and they're just like, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Jimmy wasn't hurt. Who knows? Who knows? Man. Wow. Wow. Ball placement wasn't great. Could have got the ball on the kind of upfield shoulder. He threw it on the back, which puts the ball right into place for Jamal Adams to kind of get to it. I don't think it was a terrible throw. But again, we talk about if it's accurate, this is accurate, and this is inaccurate. By that same standard, that was an inaccurate pass. Again, you got to throw away from the defender. You got to throw your guys upfield when you have trailing defenders on your back shoulder. That ball was here. It needed to be here. And that could have been the difference in them scoring right there. Man, his pocket movement is insane. His pocket movement is insane. That's a tough catch. I don't care who you are. That's a tough catch, dude. That's a tough catch. I don't care. That's a tough catch. That's a really tough catch, man.
Second time that Dunlap's been down, and now he's getting that left foot down. Road team on top. Interesting to note, too, for 3 weeks, the fans are back, and they've been in some great atmosphere. It's been so fun to hear crowds again, but the advantage hasn't really taken shape.
Tough game. Tough game. Touchdown. All right. Let's see. Good job, Debo. Good job, Debo. Way to make it look not as terrible. 2 touchdowns for Debo. If you got him in fantasy, you're super happy about that. You're super happy about that. So, again, what they're going to have to do, you're going to have to onside, similar to the situation that we saw again with Detroit, remember? So, we're going to have to do an onside kick and try to get the ball back. 2-point conversion with Lance. All right. Lance is settling down. All right. That's a positive. Lance has settled down a little bit. He's starting to. He's starting to settle down. Again, we've watched Jimmy play multiple games and take entire halves to settle down. So it's good to see Lance be able to kind of get, especially in the circumstance of having to have it, really not being able to make any mistakes. He's still settling down. It's really not. It's really not that bad. I agree. I think this is it. I think this is the key. I think what we're seeing is, again, he got thrown into the fire here. But he's settling down. So you got to get an onside kick. I don't think you can kick this back to them. I don't think, I don't think that you can kick the ball to them. Yeah, they're going for the onside right here. Oh, I see a let's go, Mitch. I'm behind. Did he get it? Jimmy to the streets. Oh, goodness gracious. The post game live is about to be lit once I get on Instagram here. Post game live is about to be wild. Post game live is about to be wild. Yikes. Yikes. Game's over, guys. Little too late there down the stretch, unfortunately. Was close, man. It was really close. Not really, but makes me feel better. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go live on Instagram. I'm gonna regroup, do my final breakdown. Drop in the chat. What's the vibe? Is there optimism for Trey Lance? Is it what are we feeling like? What are we feeling like? Is the sky falling? What are we at right now? Do you think there's an opportunity for this team to rebound this year? Do you think it's too late? What are we feeling right now? Sad. Yeah, I agree. Sad. I agree. Not the best. The 49ers have lost 2 home games in a row. Not good. 2 home games in a row. Not good. Not good. All right. Yeah, it's not good. All right. So I'm going to get these posts out, and then we're going to hop onto Instagram. We'll get our post-game rant together. I'll let you know all my thoughts, all my feelings, how I think we're going to do moving forward and all that kind of good stuff. So give me a 1 second. And then we'll get going. We'll get going here in a sec. We got Hawks fans joining the chat. Hold on one sec. We are going to get these posts out, and then we are going live on Instagram. Okay, final. Man, what a I thank you guys, and thank you first of all, thank you guys for hopping on. I really appreciate you guys riding with me. We had the little issue with the stream almost like 3/4 of the way through. We got the stream back up. I appreciate everyone who hopped back in and liked up the post and tried to get us back to where we were as much as possible. So I do thank you guys a lot for sticking through this. I know it was try not to swear. I know it was a really bad loss. And there's a lot of things that the 49ers, this is solely on the 49ers. This isn't because Seattle played better than the 49ers. This isn't that. So I'm going to get into that here in a second. But I do want to thank you guys. I do want to thank you guys here on YouTube who have been interacting, vibing with us, even though it hasn't been the best. I do really appreciate you guys. I really, really do. I really, really do. So this is gonna be the vibe, throughout the rest of the year. I think I'm gonna do these throughout the rest of the year. So would love to have you guys back. Next week against the Cards. But let's get through this post game right now. I'm gonna get the post game set up for Instagram, and then we're going. Then we are going. It's gonna be a wild one, guys. It's gonna be a wild one here. All right. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate the comments, man. I appreciate the comments. I really do. This is a tough loss. It was a tough loss. It was a real tough loss. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together is the key part. All right. I'm gonna reset. I'm reset now, and we'll get into the post game. I'm gonna get into the post game right now. All right. So let me get this set up. Bang. All right. Let's reset. Once Instagram Live gets up, we're going to get moving. All right, let's go. Post game live coming up right now. What we're going to be doing is we're going to break down this heartbreaker. 49ers go get taken down by Seattle at home. The 49ers have lost 2 in a row, unfortunately, at home. To opponents that they should have beat, at least in my opinion. So I figured what we can do is, of course, we'll talk about the second half. We'll talk about the game in its entirety. We're going to look at how that impacts the game against the Cardinals, and how do we work through this game? How do we get through this game when it's all said and done? And at the end of the day, there's no sugarcoating it. That was a bad loss. That was not a good loss. At least with the game against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football, there was a lot of scrapping. There was a lot of heart. There's a lot of fight. There's a lot of good things that occurred as well as bad things. And unfortunately, against Green Bay Packers, didn't end up how we wanted to down the stretch. But this game is a much different story. This game wasn't lost in the last 37 seconds, in my opinion. This game was lost in the second quarter. The team was never right after the second quarter. So really, that's a big point of emphasis for me as I continue to kind of like wrap my brain around this game, try to understand why this had happened, because again, the 49ers came out so strong in the first quarter, dominated the first quarter really, and then when it came to the second half after the interception, it just felt like it started to steamroll and they could not get back on track. Obviously, there's some really, really big news that came out of this game. Jimmy Garoppolo apparently goes down with a calf injury. We're going to find out how serious that calf injury is what that means for the future of this team moving into next week. But what that meant for this game was that Trey Lance was inserted as the starting quarterback to begin the second half. And let's be honest, Trey was a little bit shaky. Trey was, again, you could see he's a rookie quarterback getting thrown into the fire, having to come back from a deficit, not only dealing with the deficit, but the energy and the momentum just was not there. It just wasn't there. It just felt, I put it on Twitter, it just felt gross. Like the energy and the momentum surrounding this game after that second quarter just felt gross. I don't have a better word to describe it. And I think when you have a team full of veterans, veteran coaches, veteran leaders, veterans throughout the team. Like you want to see a better response. You want to see them react to adversity a little bit differently. And again, you can't put that on Trey either. When we were doing the live on YouTube, I tried to preface it in the sense that this guy hasn't been preparing to be the starter since training camp. This has been Jimmy Garoppolo's team since training camp, and Jimmy Garoppolo has been propped up as the starter and developed as the starter. Trey Lance has not. Trey Lance has been the second team quarterback all throughout training camp, all throughout preseason, and all throughout the season. So we have to have a little bit of patience when it comes to Trey Lance. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is, yes, we saw Trey a little shaky to start. He seemed a little off, little trying to get settled in, but he did settle in, at least in my opinion. I felt like as the game started to progress, especially as we got into the fourth quarter, it felt, and we started to spread it out, kind of let Trey Lance see the field a little bit better. I felt like Trey really started to calm down and settle in and start making some better throws and start making some better reads. We got to see some of his ability with the run game. But again, at that point, it already felt like the game was kind of over at that point because, in my opinion, we lost this game in the second quarter. I don't know how you lose a game in the second quarter and don't have the ability to come back from that, but apparently that's what this team is kind of feeling like. And again, that's where you look at leadership. That's where you look at coaching. That can't happen. It can't feel like you're losing the game in the second quarter against a inferior team. I really believe Seattle was the inferior team. I feel like based on how they operated in the first quarter, this team really should have just ran through Seattle, especially at home, especially in a bounce back after that really tough loss against the Green Bay Packers. But unfortunately, that's not how it occurred. The 49ers, again, we talk about playing complementary football. We talk about playing complementary football. Offense is complementing their defense complementing their offense, special teams complementary both. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. I have no idea what happened with Robbie Gould pre-game, but Robbie Gould wasn't able to be available. We had Mitch Wishnowsky kicking field goals for us. That pretty much just tells you kind of what this game was. It just kind of tells you what this game was. It was just a really unfortunate game that came down to just odd energy, odd vibes. It's just there's something off about this game. Than just looking at execution, than just looking at play design, play calling. There's just something felt bigger that was off. What that is, who knows? But something was off. There were a lot of positives to take away, especially in the first quarter, in regards to how this team was playing. I really think that the defensive line had a good bounce back game. I really think that the defense, especially defensive line, answered the call. I felt like our DBs did a pretty serviceable job under the circumstances that they were under. Again, down starters. You're playing against Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I felt like they did a pretty decent job for the most part. But again, when your offense isn't in rhythm, when your offense isn't controlling the football, when your offense isn't controlling clock, when your offense isn't complementing your defense, you put your defense at a major disadvantage, which is what we've done 2 weeks in a row. The 49ers offense continues to put the 49ers defense at a major disadvantage. And our offense just doesn't feel capable enough right now to overcome two-score deficits, to feel like they believe they can overcome two-score deficits. And I don't know why that is, because an offense that has this much talent in regards to this veteran offensive line, the offensive line was playing so damn good at the beginning of the game. And then as everything kind of wore on, so did everything else. It really felt like everything just kind of crumbled there towards the end. We saw Trent Williams have to be carted off the field twice. Hoping and praying that Trent Williams is fine. I'm hoping that Trent Williams is fine and that this isn't a really significant issue where Trent is missing weeks. I'm hoping this is just he's dehydrated and has a calf strain or hamstring strain as just a result of being dehydrated. That's really what I hope is going on. The 49ers cannot lose Trent Williams right now at this point. Especially if we're going to have a rookie quarterback starting from here on out. And that's the next thing. All right. So again, really quickly, there's a lot of good things that happened in this game. There were, but they get overshadowed by the fact that they lose, and there was some pretty major miscues along the way. The keys to moving forward, the keys and focusing on the Arizona Cardinals is who's starting at quarterback. Is it going to be a Trey Lance starting at quarterback? Is it going to be Jimmy Garoppolo? How severe is Jimmy Garoppolo's calf injury? Is that mean that like who's going to start? Who's going to start at quarterback? Because if it's at this point where like this team is starting to question Jimmy Garoppolo's ability, because again, one of the things that we pinpoint when we talk about the second quarter is the poor play by Jimmy Garoppolo, poor accuracy, poor decision making, just there's no imagination in the offense when it feels like Jimmy Garoppolo is under center for this team, which I don't know why that is, because I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is a terrible quarterback. I think he's an absolutely serviceable quarterback who can be very, very accurate. It's just when we don't see that and we don't see the creativeness and we don't see the accuracy, it just makes you scratch your head because you know it's there. You know there's a capable aspect that they can do it, but why aren't we seeing it? So that has to be pinpointed. That has to be addressed. We need to figure out why that keeps occurring. Again, this is every game. We're 4 weeks in now, guys. We have enough of a sample size of this team that we understand what the issues are, and the issues are right now are heavily surrounding the offense. If this defense had a more capable offense, they're winning these games. They're winning these games. I know a lot of pressure came onto the 49ers defense last week. Again, this all starts and stops with this 49ers offense right now. So we got to see what happens. We got to see what happens. We got to see what happens and what that means for the future. Because if it's Trey Lance against Arizona, great. Because the 49ers are behind the 8 ball developing Trey Lance. That's what happens when you don't allow your rookie to get first team reps all throughout training camp, all throughout preseason. That's what happens. He's not prepared to be the starter. He's being prepared to be nurtured for potentially either next year or middle of this year. Who knows what that is? But again, if the 49ers are going to make the switch, they got to make the switch. You have to put these guys in a position to be successful. You have to develop the offense around Jimmy or Trey. You can't have two offenses and you can't go back and forth because neither one of them will be in rhythm. Neither one of them will be in sync, and neither one of them will accomplish what you want them to accomplish. Pick one and stick with it. Pick one and execute it to the best of your ability. pick one and get in rhythm. And this is why there's a lot of conversation. I see it in the chat. I see a lot of people are upset with Kyle Shanahan. I believe he deserves a little bit of a piece of this credit for this loss. So he's got to make a decision. He's got to make a decision because he's been going back and forth. He's been going back for all season. So we got to figure out what that is. If it's Jimmy, that's fine. That's fine if it's Jimmy. But then Jimmy has to play more consistently. Jimmy has to be more accurate. Jimmy has to start throwing the ball somewhere other than inside the middle of the field. Like, I get it. I understand he's good at an accurate targeting in breaking routes, slants, short to intermediate, but you have to be able to at least give a, a challenge that you're going deep, a challenge to the outside, a challenge of somewhere else to keep them honest. And if we can't keep them honest, then what are we doing? Then what are we doing here? So we'll find out. We'll find out how serious that injury is. But again, 49ers are one game away from heading into the bye. And what occurs after that, we don't know. Trey Lance looks good. You got to see Trey Lance a little bit. When Trey Lance had some things break down, you can clearly see Trey Lance has an ability to create stuff that is out of nothing. Like, maybe if he didn't even read it right, he's still able to make a lot of plays with his legs. So I don't know. It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation. We knew it was going to be a tough situation when they opted to keep both quarterbacks. We knew that this was going to be the likely outcome from keeping both quarterbacks. And now you got to live with the bed that you've made. Kyle has a really tough decision now. Do you stick with Jimmy? Do you go back to Jimmy if Jimmy can play, or do you stick with the rookie? What has the better long-term success for your team? Are you thinking about this year? Are you thinking about 3 years down the road? Again, Trey Lance is 21 years old. You at least have 5 years, 4 to 5 years of Trey Lance. This is the last year of Jimmy Garoppolo. So what questions are you going to ask yourself and look to developing and building towards the future? What is that? So we're going to find out. There's a lot of questions that come from, of course, Trey Lance playing the majority of the second half. There's going to be a lot of dialogue about that this week. And the same thing that I'm mentioning. Who do you stick with? Are you sticking with Jimmy? You're going back to Jimmy, or you're sticking with Trey? Which one are we sticking with? So that's going to be the question from here on out. That will be the continued talking point from here on out. Now, I know the locker room is behind Jimmy. So what does that mean? What does that mean if Kyle decides to go to Trey? Do you split the locker room at that point because you still have guys in that locker room that back Jimmy Garoppolo? Like, we are in the part of the year that we really hope we never got to. We are in the part of the year that we hoped we never got to. Again, you have to understand, when you keep two quarterbacks, and especially with our fan base, I love you guys. I love our fans. I love everyone who supports me and supports my brand, the SF Niners. But I understand we want success. We want excellence. This fan base has a certain standard and expectation of what they want. They want a championship team. So I understand that. And we have a championship caliber roster. So I understand the fan base wanting a level of expectation and of something that they want. On one hand, is it concerning that the 49ers seemingly still don't have an identity on offense 4 weeks in? It does. It is concerning. But on the flip side, it's only 4 weeks in. There are a lot of games left. Obviously, we wanted this one. We felt like this was a manageable game to win. And it started out that way. It really, really started out that way. We understand that the path towards the playoffs goes through the division. We understand that. So this was, in my opinion, a must-have game, and we dropped it. So the 49ers inside that locker room, of course, it's still circle the wagon season. They gotta cut all of us out. All of us who talk and analyze this game, they gotta just like even my guys that like interact with the page, like even at a certain point, like I don't want them to unfollow me. Don't unfollow me, but like I understand if you don't look at anything that I post the next week. Like I get it. Like kind of circle the wagons, insulate yourself a little bit, and focus on how to get this on the right path. Get this on the right path, because I think if everything is working together, again, offensive line is working together, the running game is working together, the wide receivers and their route concepts, they're working together, the tight ends are working together, the quarterbacks working together, and the offensive coordinators working together. All those things in unison are working and feeding into each other together at the same time. This offense will be extremely successful. But right now we're like, it's like we're not. We're like, we on all phases of the offense doesn't feel like we're being consistently executing from each position, play in, play out, if that makes sense. Um, so the hope is that we get there and that we make it. But we'll see. We'll see. It's a tough loss, guys. Really tough loss. Again, because I would say I believe we should have won. I believe we should have won. I believe the 49ers shouldn't have lost that game. But that's why we call it any given Sunday. If you don't bring your best effort, teams will punch you in the face. And when you have a guy like Russell Wilson on the other side, it doesn't matter how bad that team is as a whole. I don't think Seattle's very good. I don't think based on what I saw um, out of Seattle, I don't I'm not necessarily worried about them. Like, when is that? Week 13? Sunday night football going up to Seattle? That feels like a game we can win right now. Right after we just lost. That feels like a game we can win. Because we know what we know what they have. We know what their personnel is. Like, their offensive line is going to struggle throughout the year. Their defensive line is going to struggle throughout the year. And that's where we should be able to win the game, is in the trenches. We have the trenches to be able to execute and overpower that roster, which is what they were doing in the first quarter. But when you get out of sorts, you get out of rhythm, you get out of what you're trying to accomplish, they catch you. They catch you out of position. And that's what had happened. So I'm not worried about this Seattle team as like in the future, but that's we needed this win. We needed to this first leg up in the division. We know how hard this division is. It's going to be a freaking battle in this division to get into the playoffs. And it's just we needed that one. We needed that one against an inferior Seattle team at home. At home. So I know this team is pissed. I know if you're a player, if you're a member of the staff, you're not happy. Like, you understand, like, that wasn't our best effort. That wasn't our best form of execution. That wasn't our best game plan. That wasn't our best way of responding. Um, all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff. So again, I'll continue to say it. If this team plays their game, executes, rhythm, 60 minutes. If this team can play a game 60 minutes from start to finish, they will win that damn game. But again, you can't play just the first quarter. You can't just play a first quarter and then be like, "Oh crap. Like, we got to play catch up now." Like, you got to play 60 minutes. This team has got to figure out how to maintain momentum for 60 minutes. They're capable. They have the ability. They can do it. I believe in them. I believe in this team. I believe that this is still a playoff roster. I believe this is still a very, very, very good team. But they got to execute. That's part of it. You got to execute. You got to execute your game. You got to play your game. And if you don't, this is what happens. You let teams hang around. You let teams just slowly get into their rhythm while you're out of rhythm. You see how easy it is to flip. You see how easy it is to lose control. So yeah, it's going to be a tough week, guys. It's going to be a tough week. My biggest call to all of us watching now, my biggest call to all of us watching now is let's stick together. We can all be upset and we can all kind of like not be happy about this loss and how our team has been performing up until this point. But again, we can still stick together through it all. We can still talk about the things that we don't like, the issues that we have, but we can still stick together through it all. Again, we can still be pissed and upset, but we can still stick together through it all. Let's try to keep somewhat of a decent attitude throughout the week. I know that's a tough ask. I know it is. But like we said, it's game 4 out of a 17 game season. There's a lot of time to get this right. There's a lot of time to refocus, get back on track. Like we said, if this team could just play 60 minutes of football, they're winning football games. They could play 60 minutes, hell, 45 minutes of football. And that's the thing is loss. I know that someone just asked, Albert asked, so who's to blame? I know this fan base likes to blame someone when the game is lost, but if you want to blame someone or something, blame the second quarter. Blame the way that this team responded to the interception. Blame the way, again, interceptions and turnovers and bad plays are going to happen. That is football. That is football. There is adversity that you will deal with. But how do you respond to adversity? How do you respond when crap doesn't go your way? How do you respond when something doesn't go as planned? Oh, shocker, it's football. Nothing ever goes as planned. Nothing ever goes as planned. Like rarely. Half the time you're making adjustments, half the time you're audibling, you're doing something else. How do you respond? I don't like how the 49ers responded to the pick. Now, is the pick the reason we lost? No. How we responded to the pick is why we lost. We did not respond well. We did not. The energy shifted, the execution shifted, everything shifted after the pick. Not saying the pick is the issue. Like I said, you're going to throw picks. You're going to fumble the football. You're going to make mistakes. That's going to happen. That's a part of the game. But you got to be able to respond. You got to be able to respond to that, especially how well they were playing in the first. So that's my biggest thing is how do they respond next week? How do they respond next week? The same rallying cry is going to literally transfer 60 minutes of football. The key to victory, the key to success, the key to long-term fortune for this team is them playing their brand of football for 60 minutes. 60 minutes. 60 minutes. And again, people are pointing to the Trent Cannon fumble. Is Trent Cannon pressing the way he's pressing because he's trying to make a play because they're behind? Again, there's so many things that fall down the line when you get out of sorts. So I'm not faulting any specific situation other than the second quarter. They lost that game because how they responded in the second quarter, and they never got it back. 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 So we'll have plenty to talk about this week. I'm not terribly excited to break down the film. Really not terribly excited to watch this game back. I'm not. But I have to if I want to understand why everything went the way it did. And one of the things that I will be coming back to you guys with is what happens in that second quarter. Why did it happen in that second quarter? And so that's what a lot of my focus next week will be on the second quarter. And of course, kind of breaking down Trey Lance as well, his first major time throwing. So that's what I'll be breaking down the rest of the week. Emmanuel says everything you're speaking to is predicated on coaching and leadership. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Brad, the coach said Brad Cannon fumbled twice on one play. The man got up after recovering a fumble and fumbled again. I don't point fingers. My guy's drunk. I appreciate you, coach. Coach took my advice and started drinking about halftime. Yeah, I mean, of course, turning over the football is never going to put you in a position to win, but it was a lot worse it was a lot worse before that. So I'm probably going to call it for today. It's been a rough day. We definitely wanted to get that W. We definitely wanted to come out with a victory against Seattle. Really would have helped cure some of the issues that had occurred last week. Again, it's still week 4. It's a lot of season left. There's a lot of things to correct. We could have a potential quarterback situation on our hands. I don't know. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, Sermon was doing really good. Sermon was balling today. I thought Sermon looked pretty good. I know a lot of people don't like Sermon so far, but I thought Sermon looked pretty good. Emmanuel Mosley looked pretty good. Azeez Al-Shaair looked pretty good. Again, the offensive line looked pretty good for the most part until it really started going out of control there. D-line looked good, but kind of fell apart. So it is what it is. It's going to be a long week, though. So remember, guys, go easy on your content creators this week. I know everyone's upset. I know everyone's really hurting right now. But go easy on your content creators this week. We're going to do our best to talk through this and try to identify the issues and where we go from here. There's no way that's real, man. Hold on a sec. If that happens, I'm getting off the live right away. Kyle Shanahan is saying that Jimmy Garoppolo got stepped on at one point in the first half. He found out Garoppolo wouldn't return toward the end of halftime after Garoppolo tried to work through the calf issue. Hope is Garoppolo will be okay, but also will have more tests. Okay, so Oh, God. So Kyle Shanahan said he's concerned about Trent Williams. It's never good when they're at the podium after the game and say they're concerned. That typically means they already know what's going on. That's not good. That is not good at all. So not good news for Trent Williams. Not good news for Trent Williams. And I think that's about it for me. I think that's about it for me and my halftime, post game, all that good stuff. I'm going to hop off here before any more bad news hits and ruins my day. That sucks. God. I appreciate you guys, though, as always, for sticking around. Shout out all my YouTube folks. Shout out all my YouTube folks who stuck with me all throughout the game, from start to finish. Really appreciate you guys. I need to roll up. That's what I need to do. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna roll up because this is terrible. I'm gonna go cry in the corner because one of my favorite players ever sounds like he's hurt for a really long time. So yeah, I'm gonna go twist one up and I'm gonna go drown my sorrows because I don't drink alcohol. So that's what I'm gonna go do because this sucks, dude. What the hell? What the hell? My God, I didn't think it could get any worse, man. I didn't think it could get any worse. I can't believe we're getting news that Trent Williams could be like seriously hurt. So I'm crying right now on the inside. So I'm gonna leave. But we'll be back. We'll be back throughout the tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to do my lives, postmortems tomorrow. If you want to be a part of it, come stop by. Come stop by to relive our horror tomorrow and throughout the week. But that's what we do. So yeah, everyone send good vibes towards Trent Williams. Sounds like it could be a real issue. So everyone send good vibes to Trent Williams. That's our guy. No matter what happens, Trent Williams is our guy. To the end. So we back him up. We send him good vibes. We lift him up in our thoughts because that's going to be a big loss if he misses substantial time this year. So, all right, guys. 49ers fall to Seattle. Really ugly game. Not really much nuance comes from that. Other than that, it's just an ugly ass game, and it was ugly. So there are positives to it, but right now I'm hurting my feelings for Trent Williams. So I'm fighting through the pain as you are as well. So we'll be back tomorrow. And I'll see you guys then. Until then, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, as best as it can be. And we'll start looking at everything tomorrow and start breaking apart the hows and the whys and how we move forward and all that good stuff. So I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Delete. And to you guys on YouTube, I appreciate you guys for sure, because you guys have been sticking around for a long ass time. So we've been through the whole thing together for the whole game. So you guys have a good one. Do whatever you need to do to take the load off. Get relaxed. Enjoy the rest of your game as much as your Sunday, as much as possible. And we'll be back again, like I said, tomorrow to really dive in and look into this. So hopefully you guys will be back. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that would be awesome if you did. Like the video, all that good stuff. But you guys have a good rest of your Sunday, and